here in Portsmouth, which then gets to PERS. PERS ultimately makes a decision whether or not you're going to be enrolled in EFMP, and they will assign you a category. The categories are extremely important. I'm going to get to those in just a second. Whenever you are categorized too, you are going to get an enrollment letter. It'll tell you what category you are. You're required to update those forms every 3 years. Don't forget that. And if you think you should, one of your dependents should be EFMP enrolled now, start the process now, right now. Okay, these are the EFMP category codes. So, if you can see that red line, that's the line of demarcation, all right? So categories 1 and 2, for the most part, we will be able to support your medical needs there in Rota. For 3, 4, 5, and 6, PERS is not even going to consider generating orders for overseas. I know in the past, they used to review the cases case by case. That's no longer happening. PERS had stated, no more. This is coming directly from the instruction. They're going to follow the instructions, and as you see, category 3, it says no overseas assignments. If you feel that one of your dependents has been incorrectly categorized, talk to your provider. Fill out forms again. Get them rescreened. Maybe you are incorrectly categorized. But again, you're going to have to start that process now. It's going to take approximately a month. Here comes 10 weeks. He'll go over EDIS.
Okay, so EDIS is one of our programs offered to dependent children. Free developmental screenings, comprehensive evaluations for children 0 to 36 months. Early intervention services are provided, so what we're talking about is speech therapy, PT. These can be provided into the home if your child is eligible for that service. Other services such as OT, psychological services, are available for students ages 3 to 21 as we partner with DGF and their school's case study community. Naval Hospital Rota is pretty involved in the community with different health events. We do everything from a community garden, which is where people can go and basically grow their own garden in the center of base. It's adjacent to the library. We have ship-shape programs, healthy eating classes, where we partner with the commissary and we'll go to different places around base and actually show you how to prepare healthy food with stuff that's available in the commissary with a little bit of a Spanish flair to it. Smoking cessation classes as well is another thing that we offer. Veterans Day Health Fair. So here's the sailor and the family assignment from Naval Hospital Rota over the next 30 days to 6 months. The overseas screenings, we need to get those done within 30 days of receiving orders. Both Chief Lieutenant Daddle has stressed that the entire family must complete that. The EFM screenings, you must complete it now if you're eligible or if you want to update that enrollment. Like Lieutenant Daddle has said, if you're a Category 3 and your entire family wants to go and you think perhaps you may be a Category 2, begin that paperwork now, because it does take time and it can hold up your family from moving overseas. Prior to departure, you're going to want to visit the location where your current medical records are held and request that they be transferred over. And then when you arrive in Spain, as you're doing the TDI card and you're registering your vehicle, one of the things that's going to be on your checklist is to come by the hospital and update your TRICARE enrollment for Spain. All right, so leadership takeaways. So chain of command and department heads and chiefs. I'm going to talk to you both from experience on the carrier and then things that we've seen as people have moved to Spain. The overseas, if you're a department head, you're not married, you don't have any kids, overseas screening, the EFM thing really doesn't apply to you. But where it does apply to you is how it impacts your manning and your sailors. If this process isn't done properly, what I have personally seen, what I have personally witnessed, is families that thought they were going to be together executing a PCS are not together. It's important that we're proactively engaged in making sure this is done soon and that it's done properly to make sure that we minimize those quality of life issues for our crew. I mean, there's nothing worse than, getting, 4 weeks over before, executing the change of home port to Spain, and you get a humps package dropped on your desk for a sailor who thought he was going to be able to move his family over and now cannot. So we need to be engaged in this right now. All eligible EFM families, I think there might be 17 total for your ship the last time I saw. You need to make sure that that EFM enrollment is updated. So if they're within 6 months of it expiring, they need to begin that process now. And if you know of anyone who perhaps is eligible for the program, we need to begin that paperwork now as well. Naval Hospital Rota wants to be engaged with your IDCs, with your HMs now, just talking with what your expectations are, what you're counting on us for. I know that at the TICOM level, at the ISIC level, there's some discussions between Naval Hospital Rota and Navy Medicine East and 6th Fleet, but we're going to be working together. We're going to be neighbors in 6 months, so let's go ahead and start making some handshakes now and just having a dialogue. And then also too, just knowing, there are financial implications on the medical side of the house, whether it's through an early dependent return or whether it's through an inpatient, or an outpatient patient transfer or medevac. Expenses that you haven't had to deal with here in Norfolk because of the proximity to Portsmouth and the major med centers that now are going to become a little bit more of an issue being forward deployed. So we have some contact information there for us. Additionally, I'm going to be on board for 3 years. The next 3 years, Lieutenant Davila is going to be there. So we're going to be your points of contact. You guys have had a lot of information thrown at you today, from security to pass an ID to base housing to the hospital. As somebody who just moved to Spain, who just went through this, it's worth it. I know it seems like a lot. We're here to help. Ask questions early and ask questions often. It's the best way to minimize surprises as you go through this entire process. And that's all that we have from the hospital. Your next presenter